guys, welcome back to the Her Story in Sneakers podcast, where we will be showcasing the waviest females in the sneaker industry, community, and all things related. Today we have a very special guest. We have somebody that is a content creator, a social media assistant, and some of you may recognize her from buying some of the hype drops at Adidas or Bape. We have the beautiful Jess.
What intro? That's Jay.
I do my job, V.
Yeah.
Do
Hello.
you want to tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Sure.
Off the back of my beautiful intro.
I'm Jess. I'm a social media assistant and content creator for the Soul Women's at the Soul Supplier. I recently just joined, but previously I was working in retail. And yeah, I think we'll go much deeper into it in a sec.
Yeah.
That's me.
Awesome. So you started working in retail from what I believe when you was at uni or just before you started uni?
No, so when I was actually in sixth form.
Oh, okay.
So I was, I don't know, that was so long ago now. Oh my God, I can't remember. But I was in sixth form, my first job at JD, you know, everyone's favourite spot.
You must have been so gassed to have a job at JD when you was in sixth form.
At the time, 100%. That was like, you know that phase where Pharrell had the superstars?
Yeah.
Like every single fucking colour of the rainbow. It was that time. So it was a good moment. Obviously, I didn't know any better. So I was so young. It was my first job, my first retail job. So I was loving it up. I was literally buying crepes every single week. And JD was, I don't know, it's different now, but it was weekly pay.
Oh, okay.
It was weekly pay. So I was buying everything in like junior size as well. I was getting overly excited. But yeah, that's where my journey started.
Okay, nice.
Whilst I was studying. I was always in retail while studying.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't know that I actually went to uni as well. I think people think like, oh yeah, she's just been in retail this whole time. I actually haven't. So,
so there you go. I've actually got a degree. It's in graphic design, right?
Yes. Oh, Jesus, you've done your research. Wait, how do you know that?
I do my job.
I don't even have like a wiki page. I'll
write one.
LinkedIn. So whilst I was at uni, was that? Yeah, I was still at JD I did an art foundation, and then I moved to Adidas.
Okay, before we get into Adidas, what made you want to do graphic design? Like what kind of made you want to go and study that at uni, and how was that studying that alongside working in retail, shall I say?
So in school, I don't know, I was always I would say I was always very like creative and like arty and stuff like that. And I loved fine art like at school. But it was really tough because like obviously coming from like an Asian household and stuff, like you still want to somewhat please your parents and stuff. So I was trying to do a bit of like something arty and creative, but also something academic. So I remember in sixth form, like the options you had to pick at the time, like I tried to balance it out so that like I had two options, like two routes that I could possibly go down if something went like sideways.
Yeah.
And then eventually just sticking to my gut, went with like the creative side. And then I remember when I left sixth form, I still didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I wanted to do something creative. So that's why I decided to do an art foundation, which is still part of your free education. So that helped me figure out what like pathway I wanted to go down. Because in art foundation, you do like, I don't know how it is now, but there's like a few routes that you could go down, like graphic design, fashion design, architecture. There was another one as well, but I can't remember what it is. I think it's just like media and I can't remember. So I got to explore all different options, and then eventually I kind of like honed in on graphic design because I wanted to do something more digital, because in sixth form I did like photography as well. Yeah. So like I liked exploring different mediums, but I preferred like digital art. So went and did my degree. Not gonna lie, like halfway through though, like I wasn't really feeling it. I think that happens when you go to uni, innit? Like you just,
especially when you're going for something that's like creative, because it's kind of like learning about the education around it kind of sometimes stifles the creativity.
Yeah, I think it's also like the tasks and the briefs that you get given, like if you're not really feeling it, you don't you're not like, you can't like feel inspired or like, I don't know, I just halfway through I started falling out of love with graphic design, but I obviously was like just trying to ride it out because I was like, yo, I'm not paying X amount to not get my degree and not, you know, get to the end and get like my diploma. So yeah, just rode it out and
For those who don't know, what is your background and kind of how was it with your parents when you wanted to go down kind of a creative route and not something that's necessarily doctor, lawyer, dentist?
Best believe, like in my house, yeah, we've got like me and my brother, we've got our certificates like framed and shit with what we graduated in.
Yeah.
But up to a certain point, my parents were still saying that I'm doing art. Like, put some respect on it, please. Like, they were just calling it art, and I'm like, it's not art. I've got a bachelor's degree in graphic design. Thank you very much. Like, it was
Give
art.
her flowers.
Yeah, please. Like, it was challenging. Obviously, like in a Filipino household, it's like, you know, they want you to be a nurse or a doctor or a dentist, or like, it was really challenging, and I wanted to be able to like meet that standard for my parents and stuff. But at the end of the day, like it's my life, it's not their life. And like, I just, I think I got to a point where I just wanted to prove to them, look, like, I know to you, it might just seem like I'm just doing art or like whatever. And then at the time, I'm just buying loads of shoes and like, what are you doing with that and da da da. But I hope now, like, well, this is just the start of like my journey, I would say.
Yeah.
That like they see that, oh, there is like an aim to this. Oh, like, you know, because the generation is different now. It's not the same to how they grew up. And they always say like, oh, when I was growing up, da, da, da. But it's like, no, we're like, it's the times are different now, Mom.
Now when I'm growing up, this is a job.
Things are different now. So I had to like kind of like, I guess, take a risk, but I would like to say it was very much like worth it in the end.
Yeah. Sick. It's funny because even people sometimes say to me, obviously I'm Indian, and people be like, oh, like, how do your parents find you doing a podcast and stuff? I'm like, my mom is the first person to watch or comment on my YouTube stuff.
That's so nice.
Like, but there's definitely a difference between how I was raised and kind of my older cousins, and we all kind of were raised in the same household. But yeah, I mean, going through uni and stuff, it was like I put that pressure on myself. Like my mum was never like, you have to be da, 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 da. I just knew that she wanted me to do something and do it and be successful at it.
Oh, that's nice.
So yeah, it's always interesting because like, I didn't necessarily have the pressure of my parents that forced me to do something academic. It was just the pressure that I think I put on myself from what I think that
that's what they expected of you.
Yeah. And from like, you know, the aunties and the uncle,
yeah.
The cousins, like all that stuff, I think. But yeah, it's interesting. But I'm glad that they're gonna start seeing that it's paid off or paying off.
I'm not gonna lie though, I had to really like explain that. It was actually really cute. I had a really cute moment with my mom like not too long ago. So when I got my new job, she really was trying to understand. Like she took her time because she knew like, okay, I'm out of retail now. Like, what is this like graduate opportunity that you've now got yourself in? So she proper asked me like, what is it that you do and like what's the company? It's like she wrote it down. I was like, oh my god, that's so cute. Because obviously they don't know anything about like social media. The most they know is like Facebook. Do you know what I mean? Like that's their only like thing that they go to. So I'm like slowly like, well, over time, I've kind of already been telling her about like this whole sneaker game and like the culture and like the community. Like, she still doesn't bloody understand it, but she's coming to terms with it now, and like it is cute that she actually wants to know what is it. That
you'll have to send her this when it's out.
Yeah, no, I will.
Mama, big fish. You don't know about me. You got royalties sitting at the dinner table, Mom. Right, so we'll move on to talking about, before we get more onto what you're doing currently. So you worked in Adidas, I think from 2017 to 2019.
Jesus.
So from basically the peak of like Yeezy, I think.
Yes.
You must have seen everybody that you see on Instagram in that store, because it was like Hanbury Street, right?
Yes, yeah.
How was that? How was it working there in the midst of the Yeezy culture, I guess?
Yeah, honestly.
And also, I mean, a lot of other, sorry to cut you off, a lot of other things that were releasing at Adidas at the time. They had a lot of like pop-up things. How was it?
It was nuts, you know. obviously I think the main attention was more at Fubert's place, and then because I was part of the OG team that opened the Hanbury Street store, so we were the first Adidas concept store. So like it was a big moment, and it was really nice because it was the first like store that was gonna be more like streetwear-esque and more like certain items were like more like I guess selected. Like it was a really tiny store, but it was so nice and like so intimate, and you got to really like get to know your customers, and like it was a really great space whenever we had events as well. Like I was there for like 3 years, I think. Jeez. Yeah, I was still at uni at the time. So I was there for like 3 years, but it was so fun because that was my like imagine coming from JD where it's literally like basically GRs, but I went through that whole phase of like mad, like the whole phase of like Harachis, NMDs, all of that. Like loved it. Like it was so thrilling. Like being on the shop floor and like the buzz is like nothing I can even begin to explain. And then coming into like my second retail job, and now I've got like high heat product in my hand, and it was just the norm every week that we had like a Yeezy drop, and like I know like a lot of people have probably like met me through like just being on the shop floor and stuff, which like I'm so grateful for, because like I've met a lot of my friends are actually like were my customers or like my clients and stuff like that. So I was always like behind the till or like running around on the shop floor serving Yeezys and stuff like that, and it was so fun, man. It was so fun being on the shop floor. Like I don't know how to explain it.
Do you want to go back? It really seems like you're reminiscing.
No, you've made me reminisce. Like it's actually sad.
Oh, you take your time.
Because I was like in retail for so long, and then like I got to a point where I thought, oh, is this like not in a bad way? I thought like, oh, am I just gonna be on the shop floor forever with a graduate degree?
Yeah, because you were
like,
good at your job, right? So
yeah,
it was like it was a potential avenue for you if you really wanted to pursue it.
Yeah, it was just. I think it gets to a point where you're on the shop floor and you just you can kind of like tell your time is up, kind of thing. Because as much as I enjoyed it, it did burn me out as well.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I was losing a bit of like I guess passion for it a little bit. I think because I think there was a lot happening around me at the time and a lot of things changing in my life, but it's because I think I had this degree and I was like, I need to use this. I want to use this. I don't want to be stuck on the shop floor unless I'm like progressing and like either working higher up or like in the back or something, like, and it wasn't really happening for me at the time, which obviously we'll move on to. But like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you probably made me reminisce, man. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, if you cry, we can get some
No,
views.
stop it. No.
So SKG makes Jez cry. Title.
It can be like
yeah, trust me, it'd be a meme. Yeah, sorry, I think it was 2017 to 2020 that you worked there. It was 3 years. But yeah, I guess it was because you were around. You were seeing all the marketing campaigns, I guess, around you and stuff. Yeah. And I like that you touched on the fact that JD was more kind of just that the average consumer is the target audience. And then you go to Adidas Hanbury, and it was like that was much more created for the culture, kind of, the Adidas consumer and what they want. So I think it's nice that you touched on that and how kind of the customers that were coming in, the people you started to see on a day-to-day basis were different. And you kind of connected with them more, I guess, in the Adidas store.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like in that area as well, you meet such a like diverse individuals. Like it's such a mix. Like Shoreditch is just full of like such different type of people, and like even just being there for 3 years, like I made some amazing connections, like in the industry as well, like which just it happened naturally though. It wasn't like a forced thing. That's what I loved about it. Like I wasn't forcing relationships whilst being on the shop floor. It was more of a thing where like people would come in and then like obviously you'd recognize them, but you wouldn't want to like bare like fangirl them and shit. You'll just like you'll serve them, but then you'll be like, oh, you'll drop a little like, oh, I follow you on this, or like, oh, what you doing, da 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 da, and then you just become like brethren with them, and it's just like I loved it. I want to reiterate that I've met some of the waviest people working in retail, because like if anyone ever wants to be like, wants to find a way to get into the industry or like somehow build these connections, I'm telling you, like the shop floor is like the place to be. If that's what you want, of course. Or like if you're studying, it's like the perfect like place to be. If you're studying and then like you want a part-time job, then I really recommend like finding a job in retail. Like if it's like feasible for you and stuff like that, then yeah, like place to be. Really is.
The shop floor is where it all goes down. Yeah, I worked in Foot Locker
Oh, did
whilst
you?
I was in uni for a year. I didn't meet that many cool people, but I was in the Northeast. But my team was sick.
Yeah.
And that's actually where I got my first pair of Jordans.
Oh, I love that.
Green glows. Shout out my manager, Rachel. We always have a special. No, man, she's big up Rachel. She found them in another store. But that's a story for another day. We'll move on. So from Adidas, you went to Bape.
Yes.
Became a Bape Bay. And how was that? Because now you've kind of, you know what? Yeah, your retail journey is actually pretty interesting. Because you went from JD, which is like King of Trainers. Is it? Franklin might want to dispute that. Oh, we actually won the lawsuit. Big up Franklin.
Oh, was it? Well, I need to read into that. Okay.
So you went from JD, which is like general, average, person on the street wants to GRs. Then you got Adidas, so it's like a lot more niche. And then you got Bape, which is not. It's its own brand, so you're not going luxury. You have the classic Bape stars, and then and Bape is now becoming a lot more it's a lot more hype beast. It's a lot more streetwear than it probably was before. So I think it's interesting that you've gone from GR to designer.
Yeah, I guess you could say it like that. It's crazy when you put it like that, to be fair, but I like that how you've made it sound, because it almost sounds like I kind of like leveled up each time. So it was a nice like progression, I guess. But going to Bape was like a whole like other thing I wasn't used to, like because I wasn't used to serving like like celebrities, well-known people. Like I got proper thrown into the deep end, because when the store was meant to open, we obviously went into lockdown and stuff like that. So a lot of things got like pushed back, and we were just like twiddling our thumbs, waiting for the stores to open and stuff like that. And then when we did eventually open in April, we had like mad VIPs like come in and stuff, and like I was lead cashier, so I was literally like the end of the transaction. The end of the transaction. So I was like trying to like contain myself and like not be all like
fangirly.
Not even fangirly. Like I was just like, make sure you do everything right, innit? Like I'm trying to pattern myself. But yeah, it was weird that I was just coming from like serving regular people to now I was just serving like celebrities and like their VIPs and stuff like that. It was a bit mad.
Yeah, how did you deal with that? Did you have to have a word, or was it just over time you just became used to it?
I just became used to it over time. Like, it was more like at the beginning phase, and then some of the VIPs, they would like come in like just either on a whim, or like they'd have like a scheduled time to like come in with like their stylist or whatever. But yeah, it just kind of like became normal. Like at the end of the day, they're just like normal people. Do you know what I mean? Like if you start.
Yeah, everyone walks around with a stylist.
It's not. Don't say it like that. But they are just like normal people, and like majority of times, like they're willing to have like just a normal conversation with you and stuff. And yeah, at the end of the day, like Bape, you know what? Actually, JD grew my backbone. I just want to put that out there. It really grew my backbone, man. And then like it just like helped me out to like how I should be, kind of like how I should be in like Adidas, and then like set me up well for Bape as well. But yeah, Bape, my team, man, my OG team, bloody loved it.
Yeah, it looks so fun, the team.
Them lot became my family, man. Like they're still my family now. I love them guys. They're like literally became my friends for life. And like I was gutted to leave them, but kind of had to be done, man.
Had to move on.
It was time. My time on the shop floor was done, man.
It was time that she started being in the campaigns and not just working around them. Okay, so one last thing before we get on to your current role.
Yes.
You started a platform called Women's Collective.
Yeah.
So that was kind of, to me, I think, where you began to use your degree. But also, if you've used it in other aspects, please feel free to say so. But I believe you started Women's Collective just to have more representation, post up wavy girls in their garms, sneakers and stuff. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. So the name Women with the X's in them and stuff, I actually had that bookmark since like foundation, like during my art foundation. So
Okay.
at uni, for some reason I was always like changing my, like whatever brief or task that I got, for some reason I was always trying to like tweak it or make it like somewhat like sneaker or streetwear related. I was like not doing anything else apart from making it that. Like I was that my tutors were probably so bored. Like, is there anything else that she can do? Like I was just trying to make it like so like that related. So I had that name kind of like bookmarked at the back of my mind. Like if I was to ever use that for like whether it was like a brand or like whatever thing I was gonna do with it in the end. I know at uni I did like kind of make it like a women's streetwear magazine. I know I did that. It was shit.
No.
No, it was shit. I don't want to talk about it. But yeah, bookmark that. That's why like I decided, oh, you know what, it's quite fitting. I might use it for this idea. And then during lockdown, which lockdown was this? Was it the winter lockdown? I can't even remember when
I
created.
think it was.
I think it was, you know.
I haven't actually done. I didn't go all the way
No,
back
no,
to do
it's
research
fine.
on
I
this
should
one.
know. I should know.
I think it was. I think you started it. Like
In the new year, I think
Yeah.
I did. Yeah. So, like everyone during that winter lockdown, like just bored as fuck. Like I just needed to keep myself busy and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? Like, let me utilize my creativity and stuff like that. And like, let me just do something. And at the time, like there's a lot of like women's platforms and stuff like that. But
Yep.
I think at the time there wasn't one that I was like, I could kind of like say with my chest that was like very much representing like the wider community. And I don't know, it could just be me saying that like, oh, I wasn't seeing stuff that I wanted to see, da da da.
Yeah.
But I ended up creating my own women's platform to showcase this, I guess. So yeah, during the lockdown, I created my own women's platform, trying to put like the waviest females on the map
Yeah.
and all of this, show wider representation in the scene. And yeah, I would like to say it got quite a good response. Like I'm gonna put it out there now. I've been very inactive. Like I haven't touched that account since like June, and like I'm a bit annoyed at myself, but I also know that like, you know, life is busy. And like I said to myself, like I'm not gonna force myself to jump back on the platform until I'm ready to do so, because like I didn't want it to feel like a chore to do. Like if my mindset's not there to do it, then I'm not just gonna like do it for the sake of it. Like I want to produce good content. Like I'm not just gonna like, do you know what I mean? But like I love that like it's still somewhat active now. Like I'm still getting follows on it now.
You still get tagged in pictures.
girls are still tagging me, and I'm like, oh
People
my
don't
God.
even tag her story in pictures, and I'm on YouTube.
Oh, stop.
No, I'm joking.
Guys, tag her. Bloody hell. Yeah,
But yeah, I love.
I'm gonna run that shit up on my stories, best believe.
But yeah, I went on your page and I saw that girls were still tagging you. I was like, I love that. I tried to bad her up, guys. I bad her up about 2 months ago. She didn't listen to me. I went into Bape. No, 2 months. It can't have been 2 months. When did you leave?
Yeah,
before
over a month, yeah.
October.
Yeah. She came into Babe.
Yeah, I hotted her up. She doesn't rate me enough to not act upon that.
No, you know what? You wasn't the first one to like
Good,
gun
I'm
me
glad.
down about it. Like a lot of people had like said to me like, "What's going on with your women's
people
platform?"
notice.
Yeah, and I didn't realize like it actually made such a reach. I guess so. It's nice. It is nice. I just like, yeah, like I said, when I'm like mentally and physically ready to like jump back on it, I will.
No, for sure.
It's just finding that time as well, because like with like my new role and stuff, like I'm trying to like juggle quite a few things. But I honestly want to jump back on it, because like I've said, like in previous things, like the community is only growing more and more each day, and I don't want to miss out on these opportunities where like I can like, you know, showcase this female or like, you know, or a platform or whatever. There's like loads of opportunities I probably have missed in this time, but I'll come back.
No, they're not missed opportunities. Like if you've been busy doing other things, then they're not missed opportunities. If it's like I am in my own self-loathing pit, like,
Yeah.
do you get what I mean? Then
Yeah, no, I get you.
Because it's like everyone, yeah, you should always take time to heal or if you're feeling down, for sure. But I do think that sometimes we well, I know myself, sometimes it's like I get in this mood and and it's not helpful anymore. Like
Yeah.
the time that I'm taking off isn't benefiting me. Then it's like I could be doing other stuff and then I see it as a missed opportunity. But if it's you've been doing a lot, you just haven't been doing stuff on Women's Collective, but at the same time you're building yourself up to get back to a place where you can come back and take it off even further. So
For
it's
sure.
not a missed opportunity, babe.
Yo, this feeling like some like therapy.
Therapy.
Like it's no, you're making me realize a lot of things and I'm loving it.
This is the year of realizing things. Sick. Sorry, one last question because I don't think I actually asked this. You said that your sneaker journey kind of started in JD, right? Could you just talk a little bit more about that? Because I've always wondered, like, to me, you have been sick. You've been my girl crush from the first time I seen you on the gram. And I've been in your comment section. I was like, who is this girl? I love her. I have put post notifications on. I'm in love.
Do you actually? When you said that the other day, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, stop it. You're actually the cutest.
I love every picture you post because it doesn't not bang.
Oh, thank you so much.
And you always
means a lot to
No,
me.
for real. Like, I love it. I love your whole aesthetic. I love that. And you're very nice. Like, you're a very nice girl. And even with the that's my aim. And even with the Women Collective, it's like you genuinely do like promote other females and even your close circle of friends. Like, I've been privileged enough to attend one of Jez's birthday parties.
My first time I met Sandy. Can we just put that out there? It was a surprise. My surprise birthday last year. My friend set up like a barbecue, and Sandy was there. And I was like, oh my god, it's my first time meeting Sandy. It was actually the cutest way to meet you.
Yeah, I love that. I love that memory. It was the same day that my shoe dropped.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the 31st, isn't
Yeah.
it? Can I just say, by the way, I'm so gassed for you that you even. Sorry, but how many people can say that they fucking released a shoe with Nike?
Yeah.
It's mad, isn't it? So gassed for you. But I'm really gutted that I don't have the shoe. I'm like so pissed. At the time, like, I think just times were hard. And also like, so that's why I tried to support as much as I could in other ways and stuff. But also there was so many that I wanted. So yours, Aisha's, As Captures, Kelly, Art Soul Child. Sorry, these are art, yeah. Fucking love art. That's my
She is her tattoos. I need to get one.
I've literally been DMing her. I was like, yo, I need to get a tattoo from you because
Yeah, she's cold.
I
didn't know she did tattoos.
I think just as of recently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but how sick though? Because she's so sick at drawing.
So
it only
super
made
talented.
sense.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit.
Guys, check her out. It's called her at is Art Soul
Art Soul
Child.
So true.
Yeah.
So wavy. Love her. Her and then obviously TT. I'm not as much of a fan of what's she doing? 90. Innit?
90, yeah.
Not much of a fan of a 90 as much as a 95, but did really love like
Yeah,
the storytelling behind it and stuff.
Yeah.
Can I also say that another shoe that I really loved, obviously it's not a female, but Shay
Yeah.
Casanova,
yeah.
had such a wavy crepe. Oh my god, the colorways were banging on that. Was really impressed. But just that whole Nike by You.
Nike did a lot with that campaign.
Yeah.
There was a lot of cool people, and I think the fact that people are still doing stuff in the scene right now.
That's what's sick. Like each one of you, sorry to cut you off.
No, that's cool.
Each one of you guys, like, because you all creatives and all doing your things, like doing stuff like before the campaign and stuff, and before you guys created your own shoe. But now you guys have like elevated differently. Like each one of you are like.
No, the maddest thing is that when I got put into that group, I was like, I don't belong in this. Because it was like, to me, I'm not a creative. I never considered myself a creative until after I did that shoe. And that's why I'm very, very thankful for to Nike for that opportunity. Because it's like, I got to see that I actually have a lot of cool ideas and I'm good at like certain things, which is creative. I just don't always have the talent or the skills to actually execute them myself. But that kind of put me in touch with people that are kind of able to execute a vision that I have, which is great.
No, that's so sick.
But yeah,
I'm so proud of you, man. Honestly,
I'm proud of you too,
setting
boo.
the bar, man. Representing out here.
All right, well,
I'm
everybody.
sorry, we like this is from your.
I was
your
gonna say
question.
everyone's gonna be at home being like,
I know.
back.
You know what it is? I just waffle. Like I will just like.
No,
about
no,
other
I
shit.
meant they'll be like, stop kissing each other's ass and just get back to let's get back to the podcast.
Look, we're also catching up as well.
Yeah, I
I
haven't seen her
haven't
in
seen
time.
Sandy in a couple months. So
But yeah, what was I saying? So
in JD, you said
yeah,
started, yeah.
so because you've always been kind of, I was saying I was at your party, so I know that you keep your girls around you, like you are very much a girl's girl. So how did that all start in terms of where did your style come from? Where did your influences come from? Like what really made Jez become a sneakerhead? Because with a Filipino background, I'm not necessarily sure. I definitely, other than my brother, we're all first generation immigrants, so we're all kind of we were born in England. Other than that, it's like there's not too many people that, do you know what I mean? Like your influences in terms of, it's never really parents when it comes to
Where's
Asian
it actually
households.
come from? Yeah.
So where did yours stem from?
No, I think mine's quite like similar to you in a sense. Like, so how I got into like sneakers and streetwear in general was literally from my older brother. Like, I just fucked with his style so much, and he was mad because like he'd always clock on to trends like so quick, and I never got it at the time.
Yeah.
But he always like he was just on it, and before stuff became like really hype and stuff. So the one thing that like really sticks in my mind about my brother was, you know, the time where like Kanye was wearing Ultra Boost. This is before Ultra Boost was like even hype. He was wearing that, like, I think it was the 1.0s, and then obviously the 2.0s became really like hype as well. But the 1.0s with like, it had like a purple back on it or something. That pair, it just like, it went crazy.
Yeah.
Like, everyone started like rinsing the fuck out of Ultra Boost.
Yeah,
And my
yeah.
brother clocked on to that shit so early. And then I remember when everyone then like clocked onto it and it became hype, I was like, how did you like
Late.
you was on it from the jump? Like how did you even know? And he just had like wavy style, and like, yeah, just growing up, I don't know.
Sorry,
like,
how much older is he than you?
just 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're close in age, but like yeah, that's also why we're like really close.
Oh, that's
Very close these days as well. But yeah, his style was always like kind of like baggy, and like I really liked the oversized fits. I wasn't like the girliest girl as well. It was weird because I grew up in Essex. So so I grew up in East London, sorry. I grew up in East London, moved to Essex for like secondary school. So like it was quite like a jump. And even just like you know, my ethnicity and stuff like that. So like growing up in a very like
Predominantly white area, yeah.
predominantly white area. The style there was like so different over like in my area. Like everyone was so. My classmates were very like designer.
Okay, right, yeah.
And I was like, obviously wasn't gonna do a madness and like start doing it because they were doing it, but like they were just wearing their Pradas to school and Juicy Couture and all of this like it was normal, and I was like, what? Like, how's this normal, man? But like, I didn't like. I would like to say I didn't like try to like conform to that. And
That's
stuff.
good.
Like, I still tried to stay as true to myself and stuff. But yeah, I would very much say that like my brother inspired my style, or influenced my style even. Like, I just loved what he was wearing, and I was just like, I want to be like you.
That's so sick. I feel like we have a very similar
Sounds so
story.
moist, but like,
Big up all the older brothers.
yeah,
You do a lot.
honestly.
Do you feel like it connects you now?
Yeah. Yeah, more than ever. Like he taught me everything I needed to know. Like I wouldn't be where I am right now if it wasn't for my brother, like 100%. Because I wouldn't have like, if he didn't get me into like this sneaker game or like teach me like certain things about the game, no way would have I like found myself in like places like JD, Adidas, Bape, like now Soul. Like what the hell?
Yeah.
He taught me everything I need to know. So like props to my brother, man.
Oh, big up Jez's older brother. One day, maybe we'll have you on the podcast. But no, big up. Love that story and the journey. So that brings us to current day. Miss Jez is content creator and social media assistant at big The Soul Women's. Round of applause. I don't want to hit the mic. So tell us a little bit more about that. How did you get into that?
Yeah, it was a bit mad, you know. I'm not gonna lie, I think I still haven't totally digested the fact that I'm at the sole supplier. Like,
Yeah. Big.
It's a big statement. I don't think like I would have never thought I would be at the sole supply. Like if you asked me a good couple of years ago, like I would have thought, yeah, I'm probably gonna be still on the shop floor. Like I don't know, like, or God knows, probably like, oh yeah, let's do supervisor then. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, it's wild because how do I start my journey?
So you've been there for a month, or do you start? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
still early days, man. This is why I said this to Sandy. Like when before I came, I was like, I was a bit hesitant to jump on the podcast because like I hadn't even been there for a hot minute. Like
Yeah, but
it would have been nice to like if I had more stuff to kind of like,
for sure.
say,
But at the same time, I'm not getting you on because you're social media assistant at Soul Supply. I'm getting you on because you're fucking Jez Rivera. Like,
I hear you.
but yeah, how's it been?
It's been very busy. Yeah, no, I'm like busy nonstop. It's a very reactive job, as they like to say. It's very true. My journey with Soul is quite, I don't know if it's like is it an interesting one? Maybe. I've always been following them, innit? Like when they were like a much smaller company and group, like I've always been following them, even when like the Soul Women's was a much like, what's it?
Who heads that? Emily.
No, so it was Tegan, but Tegan just left recently. So it's Kelly.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say she's my manager. Love
Cool.
Kelly. Shout out Kelly.
Shout out Kelly.
Yeah, like I've always had, I think, somewhat of a good relationship with Soul, or like I've always been friends. I've been friends with Emily and Miles, who were like they've been part of like the OG team like from early. So it's nice that I kind of like had that friendship with them whilst like being in retail at the time.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Like being on the shop floor, like I made such great connections and it wasn't forced. Like it was very much like I either met them on the shop floor or through social media. So I had that connect there, which was really nice. And then, you know what, like last year, oh my God, it was around the time when I met you. Yeah, so it was around my birthday time. Yeah.
Okay.
I actually applied for a different role at Soul Women's.
Yep.
It was actually in like a field that I don't really have experience in, but I went for it anyway. I was just like, fuck it. Like let's just see what happens. Like I would like to say that I have enough of like the knowledge to, you know what, like I'm willing to like learn
The rest of the job.
The rest of the job, yeah. So I went for that job role. I actually got to the final stage, which I was obviously very gassed about because prior to this, obviously I just graduated. I did Adidas for under a year after graduating. So I was in that weird like that weird limbo phase where like I was looking but not looking for a graduate job. I was kind of like I was struggling because a lot of like companies were looking for at least 2 years experience, which I was like, that's not realistic, man. Like I've literally just come out of uni and you want me to have 2 years
And they put it on a
experience?
grad job, so it's like, so what, you wanted me to do this when?
Yeah, honestly, I just, obviously I know a lot of people can like, you know, understand and can relate to that and stuff. It's a tough time because you want to find a graduate job, but I think also you don't want to force it. Like if it comes, it kind of comes. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not even gonna try like pretend like I wasn't like really hunting. I wasn't job hunting. I was kind of, I was being really picky. I was being picky because I was like, I don't really want to work in a graphic design studio, like doing like, I don't know. Like I said before, I kind of fell out of love with graphic design. So, and I was just trying to get my degree. I wasn't really looking too far into the future. That was like, yeah, I want to work for this company, Like I was being so picky because I wanted to utilize my degree, but also somehow find a way to merge my hobbies and like my I hate to use it, but passions for sneakers and streetwear and stuff like that, and find a way to like merge it somehow. That's why I think I was on the shop floor for so long, because I was almost hoping that like, oh, if I run into like some sort of connect, if I find the right person, maybe they can like not help me, but like lead me in the right direction to an opportunity that could like open doors and stuff like that. So yeah, that's why I was being picky, and eventually I did go for this role, whatever, got to the last stage. Unfortunately, didn't get the job because they said it was like a really like hard one, because they were like, you have all the knowledge, but unfortunately, I lacked kind of like the experience and the job role was. But then they had another person who had that experience, but then lacked the knowledge, I guess. So they did end up going with the other person, which is fine. Like, you know, it was everything happens for a reason
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah, for
Because
sure.
in that time, when that person did get that job, and then I needed that time to like progress myself, and like I learned so much about myself from that time until eventually like going to BAPE and stuff. But like during the lockdown, when I created the women's platform, if I didn't create that women's platform, I would not be where I am today.
Yeah.
Because in my interview for this role, they really loved what I did with the women's platform. They're like,
Sick.
how did you come up with this idea? How did you do this? Da, 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 da. And I was just like, yo, I was just bored, you know? Like I was actually just bored, and I wanted to see more like representation in the scene. I
And
wanted
you
to
made
see
really sick graphics for
Oh,
that. Like
thank
all of your promo stuff. My stuff is made on Canva. Your stuff was sick.
Bro, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what tool you use. Like it really
No,
doesn't matter.
my stuff was not like yours, Jess.
No,
Just take
bro,
the
no.
compliment.
No, honestly, I
Then
really
we can move
appreciate
on.
it. It's just like it was hard to just even come. This is why the account not burnt me out, but like this is why like I haven't like resumed to it in a while. Is because I'm quite critical of myself, and like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
quite
for
like
sure.
I'm the type like I'm a perfectionist, and I want it to only if it's like 100%, then I'll post it or whatever. And I was being too hard on myself, and I had like I had goals for myself that I wanted to post something every single day on stories, and then like I think every other day feed posts. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I was setting these quite high standards or bars for myself, and like I couldn't meet them as such, especially like going back to work and stuff like that full time. So it was just a challenge, like balancing it all and stuff. But yeah, I'm gassed that like Soul Supply are like really like
They liked
enjoyed
it.
the platform, and like yeah, even actually before I went for the job role, they hit me up, Tegan hit me up to shoot like a campaign with Corey and Kes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
did you do that before you got the role?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was actually before I applied. Like that's before like it's weird how it all happened, because yeah, like I was
Because it dropped kind of the same time that you would then like, yeah, guys, I joined Soul
yeah,
Style.
it was mad because I joined the company, and then obviously there's a lot. I don't want this to sound like in a bad way. I just mean on like a technical level, but like there's a lot that happens behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I don't know what everyone's like assumption of the Soul Supplier is, and I don't know if they just think it's like, oh, social media releases, da da da. But there's so much that actually happens behind the scenes, and there's so many like techs and like amazing creative people that work there. But they all like already knew my face because of like the campaign and like
Yeah.
other stuff as well. So I was just like, oh my god, yeah, hi. They're like, oh, it's Jess.
It's the talent.
Yeah, it was so funny. But yeah, when I like applied for the role and stuff, like, well, only at the last stage they were kind of like, so we kind of want you to be like, well, we're kind of looking for someone to be like the face of the Soul Women's, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that's what I was like getting myself into, but like I'm not gonna say no, because like I found it to be like such a good opportunity, and like if I weren't to like grasp this now, then like I'm like
Yeah.
what
What were you applying for?
No, it was just like content creator and so.
Oh, okay. But they wanted to
But they
actually
kind of
be-
like
right.
added to it that I guess also because I was like in the campaign with the other two girls, that like, oh, maybe it'd be a good moment to utilize her face, my face.
You got a good
Yeah,
face.
So, yeah. Sorry, I probably like drifted so much, but
No, sick. So what is Lim's what's he the face of? Is he the face of like Soul
he's
Style?
more like Soul Supplier.
Yeah.
But like I don't think they want it to seem like two separate identities. They want it to like seem
collective.
like, you know, one hub kind of thing. So I think that's why we're doing a lot of like collaborations right now to like integrate the Soul Supplier and the Soul Women's and the Soul Style, even like all merge it into one. So yeah.
It's awesome. What does your day job consist of then?
I'm running around all the time. If you see me in the office, I'm literally like running around. It's so funny. Like, so I'll be like shooting content. We get a lot of like orders sent into the office. So like, I'm just, whether it's like GRs or whatever, like, I'm really proud actually. Cause a lot of the content that I have shot has been used over like quite an array of like social media platforms. So like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like, you probably have like a lot of people probably see it and just like they just think it's like, you know, regular image, video, whatever. But I'm like, oh shit, that's me. Like, and then I see like the views and the likes and like just like the general like engagement, and I'm like, oh shit, I did that. Like, it makes me really proud. Like, obviously, it's just like a small little milestone right now, but like I'm trying to like celebrate small like achievements.
Yeah,
Because
1,000%.
at the end of the day, you got to be your biggest hype man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, like I'll be like shooting content. I'll be like assisting my manager with like a lot of like social media duties and stuff like that. I'm like very much like interacting with everyone on socials, on Instagram, and yeah, doing a lot of like campaign stuff as well, like admin stuff. Like, there's a bunch of stuff that I'm doing, and I think like my duties are only just like stacking up more and more like each day, which is nice. Like I'm kind of very much ready for like the challenge, and like kind of just I've been very much thrown into the deep end already, because I joined the company at the busiest time, Black Friday period.
Yeah.
So it's quite intense right now, and everyone's like,
I'm surprised
crazy
you even
busy.
we got you in.
Yo, honestly, like I said to myself, look, if I'm not gonna come in now, like I never will. So like, and you've been asking me for the longest, and like I've been so gassed. Can I just say, I've been so gassed that like Sandy even wanted me on the podcast, man.
For
I said to her, I was
sure.
like, little me, man, what the fuck? Like, there's hella like established people in the industry. So like, I'm very blessed that you want me here as a
Well, I'm
voice.
blessed that you
So-
came on for sure. And I'm very grateful to call you a friend. You're
Oh,
fucking sick.
Yeah.
Like one of the sickest girls I know, trust me.
So,
No, you're gonna
thank
be
you,
you're
and
gonna be
likewise.
you're gonna do big things. But what's the goal? What where do you aim to take your role at Soul Supplier?
I knew you was gonna ask this question. Man. Like, I really knew you was gonna ask this question.
What's the 5-year plan? No,
Jesus Christ. I think I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to speak too much here, because believe in evil eye. And all
yeah, for sure.
I have like obviously have my personal goals and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But I'm very much just gonna see how things go. Like, of course, I want to only progress in my role, and like hopefully, I don't know how things are gonna go, but I would like to see myself like moving a little bit more higher up within the company, and like doing bigger things for Soul Women's as well, and like finding new opportunities to like get more of the community involved and stuff like that. There's a few things I'm working on at the moment with my manager. So yeah, I just see what happens. It's just the start of the journey. So you've caught me at like a very early stage, but yeah, hopefully, inshallah, like it's just the start.
Yeah,
bigger things.
I'm 1,000% it will be. I wholeheartedly believe that. It must still be really surreal to you to work there, because even to me, it's like the Soul Supplier I just used to follow as a Facebook group and stuff online, or you know, see the Twitter, and then it's like over the past few years, I think everybody's journey everybody that was kind of involved in the community, and I would say the people that have been in it and have been authentic, especially the females, in the past 3 years, they've all done something. Like whether they made a Nike shoe, or whether they've been in Nike campaigns, or whether they've been on the sneakers app, or you know, whether they've been doing stuff with other brands that we won't mention, or if they're working at Soul Supplier. It's like everybody has gone on to do these things, and it's just sometimes I just think to myself, like, besides you just being Jez, my friend, it's like, okay, you're a content creator at Soul Supplier, and now you're on my podcast. It's like this page that I used to just random like follow and get information from. It's like now, even myself and the Soul Supplier team, like I can call them the Soul Supplier fam, because it's like I feel like they are very community based, and now it's like I'm connected to these people that 16-year-old me would have been like, what?
I mean, honestly, it's so overwhelming when you think about it. You're just like,
Yeah. So it must be mad to you to go into the office, because even I'm like, I wonder what a day in the office of Soul Supplier looks like.
honestly, like there's so much that's happening. Like it's so fast paced. It's a fast paced industry. I do have to say that. But everyone that I've met so far on the team has been so lovely. I couldn't have had a more of like a warm welcoming. Like everyone is so lovely. Everyone's so talented as well. I respect the graft that these guys put in. Like it's crazy. And like I've been friends with like, you know, Emily for a hot minute now, and like, sorry, I need to shout out the females in it. You got you. But like she has been doing a madness for the scene, like from early, like this is before like she was even like hired by the Soul Supply.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like before she was just doing it for the community on Facebook groups, innit?
Mm-hmm.
She was doing like out of her own will and stuff like that, which is like amazing in itself. But like she is so hardworking, like just as a friend, and then like you said, like as a friend, and then now she's my colleague.
Yeah.
And I see how hard she works. She doesn't switch off. Like she's just game face all the time, and I respect it so much. I really look up to her. I really, really do respect her work ethic, and like, yeah, it's mad. It's unmatched. It's unmatched.
Yeah.
But the whole Soul team, like quality people, amazing creatives, amazing tech team as well. Like it's a great company that's also like very much expanding as well. Since I joined, like more people have like actually joined the company. So like I know they want to branch out even more, and they've got bigger plans and stuff. But yeah, it's a great team I'm very honored and blessed to be part of such a great team.
Yeah, sick. I guess you don't really get to appreciate the work until you're around seeing like what actually happens behind the scenes.
No, definitely.
I mean, they definitely put out a lot of updates and content online, but like on their socials, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram. But in terms of, it's like, imagine the stuff that they're working on that isn't even going to come out for like 2 or 3 months or 5 months. It's like, yeah, it must be crazy over there.
Always working on something, always. Yeah. Non-stop shooting, non-stop editing, non-stop creating. Like, it's mad. It's mad. It's a very reactive job, like I said. Like I actually don't know how to explain. I think I'm still very much digesting the workload. Yeah, still very much getting used
But
to
it must
it.
be good, like coming off the back of retail, which can, it's basically you're doing the same thing. Like, yeah, you might have different customers, but it's essentially the same thing every day.
Yeah, honestly, like I was thinking about it before before coming here. I was like thinking about what I do as a job and stuff like that, and I was thinking about, damn, when I was on the shop floor, yeah. So this is also a reason why I think like some people connected with me, especially during the time I was like at Adidas. So when like it was the first time I had like high heat in my hand and stuff like that, and like I was so sneaky. Obviously, I don't advise anyone to do this who's actually like.
You're gonna say that you posted pictures on Instagram?
Yeah, how did you do that? I love that you already know.
Yeah, because that's what I was. Every drop, it's like, all right, let me wait for Jez to post a picture.
It happens.
It was in her hand, and the shelf was in the background. It was always the same type of picture.
Yeah,
for every drop. Yeah.
Because yeah, like I wasn't obviously meant to, but like on a sly, whenever we'd get like, you know, new Yeezys and stuff, I'll be in the stock room and I'll be like, quick 1, 2.
Yeah,
like,
you see, I thought that they wanted you to do that.
Oh no.
To like, you know,
Get
the
the
people
ball
going.
rolling, yeah.
Yeah, like Kanye needs Jess.
These times, Jez, you need to.
Jez was on a
conversation.
disciplinary.
Yeah, disciplinary as fuck. Like, yeah, really and truly, I shouldn't be doing it. Oopsie. But like, it got me to where I am today. Also helped me build those relationships and connections. Because like I wasn't even doing it with any intent that like I wanted people to pop up to me and stuff like that. I was just doing it because like I bloody appreciate the product, and you just get so hyped. Like when you're literally like, you're not meant to be seeing or like holding or touching this new product that is meant to be releasing next week or whatever. And then you have it in your hands. You're just so tempted, isn't it? Like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah.
Like, so I was just like doing it out of fun, whatever. And then obviously, yeah, people would like react to my stories or like start talking to me, engaging with me. And it was fun. Like I was having like such fun conversations with people. And like, I'm not going to lie, at the time, obviously, I'm sure we were probably going to touch on it at some point. It was very like, it was very much, it was male-dominated conversations. Yeah. Let's be real. It was, but only because like at the time, I even struggled to find like women in the scene that like had the same interests as me. So like, it only it took a while. Only I think maybe just before my time at Bape, that's when I started like meeting more females in the scene and stuff like that. But it kind of happened more through social media, innit? Like I'm sure you can relate, especially like I'd say for the likes of Offspring and stuff like that. That's how I was able to like connect with more women in the scene. But even just like females that were like my size. That's, I think, where like sparked the convo, because like my girl Holly, we're the same size, and that's how we started to connect, because we're literally the same size, we love the same shit, and like, yeah, I almost talk to like every single day even. So I love that I made that connect with her just through sneakers
Yeah.
and streetwear. It's mad. It's mad.
Yeah. Yeah, your base size.
Yeah.
What size are you, B?
4.5, man.
I don't mean to laugh, sorry.
No, because you're lucky. You're on that borderline where you're. No, I'm on that borderline, but you're in that like that nice little space
Yeah.
where like if it is a
I can-
men's
I can
release,
get
then
my
you can
shoe.
finesse it. Yeah, obviously it's still limited because it's like one of the smaller sizes in the size run. But yeah, come on, we got to do better, man. Got to be inclusive sizing.
What you got today?
Jeez. I think it was fitting for
Shoe
today,
viewer?
isn't it? Oh, political one now, isn't it? It's a political one. I mean, a lot of people are saying this is. They were saying this from like what?
That's still my
early
shoe viewer, I can't
June.
lie.
Like, is it what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Top
sure.
3.
Number
Or
one.
sticker of
Shoe
is
of the year,
it?
for sure. Wow, what's yours?
I'm still undecided.
Oh.
The year hasn't ended, man.
No,
Not
but
that I'm not to say like, oh, something amazing is probably gonna like come out of the bag like before the year ends, but it's definitely up there. It's definitely in my top 3.
I love purple. I love purple. I love
Can
purple.
anyone else tell? The people on the podcast can't see what Sandy's wearing right now, but
I am not looking like Ribena. That is for sure. I don't know who said that. That's a lie.
no, you said full fit. Cortez.
Shout out Cortez.
Cortez or Cortez?
I say Cortez.
He said it. Clint said it multiple times, but I'm not gonna lie. I always forget.
Yeah.
Bad that. I think it's.
I just make
Cortez.
sure I don't spell it wrong.
Yeah,
That's my thing.
we're repping today.
We are.
People on YouTube will see, but
Shout out. Yeah, Shoe of the Year for me, mainly because of the message behind the release though.
Yeah.
Like the fact that they postponed it due to the results for the trial. So
it also has just great storytelling as well.
yeah, it's just 6 shoe for women.
It feels like when I put it on this morning, because I rarely wear this, like it's in a blue moon that I wear it, but like it's such a premium shoe, man. Like I'm sorry, but the quilted,
Yeah.
as soon as I put my foot in, I'm just like, oh my God, this feels like one of the most like luxury shoes that I have. Like it's wild.
I wish I
love
got
it.
a double, but I mean, I'll
Blessed to
I'll
have
take
just
my
one
one
pair, honestly.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to make people mad.
She has a pair already.
But to touch on what you were saying in regards to men, I didn't want to talk about it too much because obviously we're all the whole platform kind of came from the fact that all women felt unrepresented in the community and it was very male dominated. So I just kind of wanted to showcase what you had to offer. But just to touch on it a little bit, what do you hope to see going forward, like in terms of for women in the space, and you know what would you like?
I hope that just more opportunities will be like presented for just I'm saying like normal people in the scene, like not even just like fairs if you've got like experience in like a certain area, whatever, but like because it's such a community driven space, I think it's such like an opportunity to like utilize just normal people.
Yeah.
This is just like their hobby. This is just like just their normal interests and stuff like that. Just opening doors for normal people. Sorry, that's probably like really naff answer, but
No,
because for me, where I am now, like I'm just a normal person. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm very much like I believe that literally anyone can do exactly what I did. You know, like if you want to be in like a somewhat of a similar space that I am, then like try go about it the same way that I did. Like if you want to learn from, you know, from the core, like go to the shop floor or something, like learn it from like the ground up kind of thing. You just have to like challenge yourself and like be willing to kind of take these risks a little bit, have like uncomfortable conversations, or be in uncomfortable situations too, because I know we didn't want to like touch too much on like the male dominated and stuff like that, but like for me, like when people ask me like, oh, what was like your biggest challenge and da da da, for me, I know like a lot of people will like say like what's the thing that like everyone kind of says that they wanted to like be heard and stuff like this. I'm not gonna lie, like me, like growing up and like my journey and stuff like that, the conversations I was having with like other males and like just whether like in certain situations or certain conversations, I felt very like accepted.
Yep.
Like I
Same.
didn't feel a sense of like I didn't really feel left out as such. Like, but it could also be it's the people I was having conversations with, or like the circle that I had around me were very much like so uplifting. They didn't make me feel that I was odd, the odd one out. Like I felt very like secure in where I was and stuff. So though you know those people know who they are and stuff like that, but like I had like a very like strong network of people around me supporting me and like encouraging me to like keep pushing and like keep doing my thing and stuff like that, because there were so many times I kind of fell off social media. I had like points where like I wasn't really like as active, and I think I always look back and I was like, oh, if I was like more on job then I would be in maybe X position now. But no, I don't regret it, man. There were so many things happening in life at the time. So but yeah, like I do want to shout out men as well, like the men that I had conversations with, or
Yep.
my friends that I had in my circle, because they were like really pushing me to be like the best version of myself and stuff. So yeah, and they like very much humbled me to like stay true to myself as well.
Yeah, 1,000%. Like I wouldn't be where I am in terms of people. Like thankfully I get a lot of respect for the knowledge that I have about sneakers, about community and stuff, but I wouldn't have acquired all this knowledge if it wasn't for a handful of men that I've been blessed to be around for the past like 2 or 3 years. And I have the same story. I'm like, her story wasn't born out of guys being disrespectful to me. Like, when
I know it's unfortunate for some. Like, I hate that. That's like, I guess their story and stuff. Obviously, it's this why if her story in sneakers. Because we want to know like how it started. But it's nice that we had that like mutual relationship with these guys that like, they didn't make us feel like an outsider.
But that's what's important to highlight. It's like the actual guys that are the sneakerheads, or actual guys that are really passionate about trainers and stuff like that, they're not the ones that need to be educated or told or shown that women have knowledge. They just they accept it. Like a lot of, even when I got to interview the female Matters of Air, they were saying like they've never really felt away because of their gender. Like when they were at camps and stuff, it's always a community, it's always a collective.
Yeah.
It's now it's because a whole different type of person is now hopping on the trend.
Yeah.
And unfortunately that comes with misogynistic views and stuff like that. So it's like they're the people that you need to kind of educate and change the opinions of. It's like, but that's why I was very I didn't want her story to become like an anti-men campaign, because it's like the guys in my life, if it wasn't for my brother, do you really think I would have been rocking crepes? No way. My sister would have had me in Uggs or something. Like, I'm not joking. Lean up.
Imagine.
But yeah,
nothing wrong with Uggs, but yeah.
big up the men then. Yeah, nothing wrong. Ugg community, if you want to give me some of those slippers for
No, have you seen these Ugg boots? I can't
Which
remember
ones?
the name of it. We posted them on the Soul Women's, because I saw this like she's not an influencer, but this girl that I follow, like she got these Uggs that are like, I think they're very like Yeezy inspired, but they're so sick because there's like a slip-on attachment that literally looks like the Jerry Lorenzo slipper. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like a weather boot or something like that. It's sick, but I'm trying to find my size and I can't bloody find it.
I thought that it was actually an Adidas Yeezy thing.
Oh,
When I saw it.
what, this Ugg boot?
Yeah. I thought it was
because
like
of the colorway as well. I'm assuming,
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. It's hard.
Are you gonna get it?
I'm trying to find my size, but I'm scared. Like once this goes out,
Use those Soul Women's Connect.
Small sizes are gonna go. You know what? It's on ASOS though, because we ordered it to the office.
So I can get it.
6 and up. 6 and up. Yeah.
Guess I can
You might
get
want to
it.
look into it.
Don't think I want it, babes.
No?
No.
You don't like boots? Do you have Yeezy boots actually?
No.
So you're not feeling the new...
I don't have any boots. I don't have a single pair of boots. I don't have high heel boots. I don't have Doc Martin boots. I don't have any. I want some Docs, can't lie.
I tried on Docs for the first time. So I was shooting the Christmas campaign for work.
Yeah.
And I tried on Docs for the first time in my life. Oh my God. Like I might get a pair.
But did you wear them around?
yeah, like obviously they are like, you gotta break them in. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, because
They're
they
tough.
they actually sell like Doc Marten socks to wear
Is
for
it?
docs, because
That makes
it's like they give everybody blisters.
Yeah,
The
no, it's
fear
like
of breaking that in though is what puts me off.
yeah. I don't want to have blisters. I don't want my feet like crying.
Yeah.
But they're actually really nice. I never gave like love to a doc before, and now I'm like low key.
They've got some really cool styles coming out, I
Yeah.
think. I like when girls rock them with like very girly dresses and stuff. Like I love that.
It's cute. I wish I could pull that off, but like I like it on. I can appreciate it on other people.
I mean, you can pull off everything, Jazz.
Stop it. Don't
Like,
gas me up,
what are you talking about?
Stop it.
But I think if you don't have anything else you wish to touch upon, that might be us.
I don't know. Have we touched on everything? I would like to think so.
I think so.
I could go on for days. I'm not gonna lie. I waffle, man. But as long as
No,
we
you
get
have a
main
lot to
points out
say.
there,
We love
innit?
to say. We love to hear it. I'm trying to think. I think we've touched on everything. Is there anything you would like the people to know? Do you want to let them know where they can find you?
Oh, sure.
We haven't
yeah,
shouted
I
out the
mean,
socials yet.
Yeah, if you want to have a little stalk, then no. No, if you don't have to. I ain't trying to force it, and it's all right.
You have to.
No, allow it, man. It's all right. You don't have to. But yeah, if you want to find me, I'm on Instagram at jez.rivera, and also at the Soul Women's too now. So
The face.
Show love. The face.
Yeah.
So yeah, go show love if you want. And yeah, shout out Sandy. Yeah, big up Sandy. Love this girl representing. You don't know.
You don't know.
Please show love to Her Story in Sneakers, because I honestly think like this is just the start of something like really amazing, and like that's why I feel so blessed to be like one of the first people to be on here and stuff, to start the conversations. But no, I see big things for you, man. You're already doing big things, so
Stop.
yeah.
I can't even do my outro now.
Sorry.
No,
bars
thank you.
prepared.
I'm very, very grateful. No, it means a lot. It means a lot.
No, honestly, Sandy's such a real one. I think it's really hard to. I just want to put this in. Sorry, it's really hard to find genuine people in the scene, because like another thing I didn't really touch on whilst explaining my story and stuff was that like one of the things being on the shop floor is that it's hard sometimes to see whether like people genuinely want to get to know you as a person, or like they have these, you know, these common interests and stuff like that, or they're just trying to finesse you for like product discount and all of this. And it's really hard. You got to like really find a way to just like see through it. And like I have luckily enough been able to find some really genuine people in the scene as customers, as clients, and now friends and stuff like that. But like yourself, you're one of like the most genuine people that I've met in the scene. So like I'm so blessed to call you a friend as well.
Oh, thank you, and likewise.
There.
It's all love. You know that.
Always love, man. Always.
Well, we'll end this sort of fest.
Yeah.
But no, genuinely deep. But in case people think I'm not grateful, I am. It's just if I'm too grateful, I'll cry. But yeah, thank you. Big up Jez. Make sure you lot go follow her, check her out. Big up Soul Women's, big up Soul Supplier. Tell them that Jez sent you. They might give her a bonus. Make sure you check out Her Story in Sneakers, the rest of our podcasts, myself, skg.jpg, and stay tuned for the next one. Bye, guys.
Bye.